Let's see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in 99 days, keeping it Rio. I have come up now with the keeping it randomly Rio for today because I was bored. I was sitting here like 30 minutes ago and I was like, wonder if I can get anybody to join me today to do a random live broadcast on Facebook, YouTube. And sure enough, the most adventurous person I know, one of my all time favorite guests on our podcast from episode 111, is in the house. And it is Miss Kat, the master of disaster, best-selling author, among many other things, which we're going to talk about. So, Kat, welcome back from episode 111 to now. I think it's like 130 something. So, welcome back. I'm happy to have you.
Thanks, Chuck. It's so good to hear you back on the air. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're having some fun, right? I love doing this, so it was kind of a cool time, and I just got all this stuff set up, and here we are. So the last time that you were on Keeping It Rio was way back, like I said, episode 111. I don't even know how many months ago that's been, but it's been a while.
That's a few years
And you're
ago.
coming at us live from the island of Vanuatu, where you reside, which is the most disaster-prone island in the world, correct?
Country. Natural
Yep.
disaster.
Yeah.
We have
So
cyclones and earthquakes and tsunamis and volcanoes. I love it.
we have hailstorms here and we get scared. So I can definitely appreciate you for that. We did a live broadcast so far. I think this is the only podcast in history that did a live broadcast from Vanuatu. So we made history on that. And now you, being a world traveler, are somewhere completely different. Tell me a little bit about your current surroundings and why you are currently where you're at.
I'm in Toronto right now, so I'm from Toronto, but I'm here doing a media tour for my book, Never Let a Good Disaster Go to Waste, which just got published at the beginning of July. And it's been doing really well. I've been on lots of news and TV and radio, and it's going great. So that's what I'm doing. I'm visiting my family. So if you happen to hear a man scream at me soon, it's because it's nearly Dad's lunchtime.
I can
I don't
respect
know.
that. Don't want to mess with that.
Gee, I don't know if it's the same for you, but as your parents get older, they get a little bit more demanding.
Well,
It's
both
like,
of mine are
where's
dead,
my
so they're
lunch?
not asking me for anything right now, and that's a morbid joke. But yes, I
I
do.
totally get
I
it.
know what you mean.
Yeah, look, my mother actually passed on my 12th birthday. So I say parents, I mean my dad. And people complain about their mom. I'm like, you got a mother. You're so lucky. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying if you hear screaming, that's what it is.
Yeah, I can definitely appreciate it. When I don't get my lunch, I start screaming too. So no worries on that. Like you said, your book, it just came out the beginning of July. We haven't spoken since then. So I wanted to really catch up and see how has everything gone with the book from where we were at before, where you were getting ready for the launch, you were starting to do the promotion, you were getting everything ready to go, to where you're at today. Tell me a little bit about the adventure that has been so far, and where it's led you in this world. It's amazing.
Well, you know what's amazing? 11 years ago, I came up with the idea to write this book, Never Let a Good Disaster Go to Waste, my memoir. And at the time, I said, it's going to be on Oprah's book club, and Reese Witherspoon's going to be making a movie out of it. And that hasn't happened yet. But
Not yet. Okay.
not yet, but I'm going to Bermuda next Tuesday, and Oprah's got a house there. So I'm going to stalk her. So, Oprah, if you're listening, which she probably is, right, Chuck?
Of course, Oprah's one of my main viewers. She's actually the one that reached out to me weekly asking when I was coming back with Keeping It Rio. So
Actually, I see
shout out to you, Oprah.
she's popped up on the screen. Hey, Oprah. Hi, Reese. So good to see you. So Oprah, yeah. So I'm after them. I'm after Oprah and Reese, but the book's been doing really well. It's a bestseller on Amazon.
Nice.
Everyone that reads it, like, wow, it's amazing, because my book's not just my memoir of like all of my disaster prone life, but it gives people the tools and the ability to master any of their problems. So whether it be death or disease or depression or just irritating people, it's all in there. But it's a fun, exciting, and wild ride.
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, I don't know any irritating people. I've never met any in this life, but I wish if I did, I know that I'd know how to handle them through your book for sure. Everybody's not annoying. There's no way. I spent the entire day at the airport 2 days ago, so I probably should have had that book with me for my reading on the plane or something, because could have definitely used your help there. But that is so cool. So you're Amazon bestseller, which now makes you, I believe, the 5th Amazon bestseller that I've had on my podcast, which is pretty damn cool, because it was supposed to be a roofing show, and most roofers don't know how to read or write. So I turned the entire thing around, and we got it going in the right direction. That's awesome. Let me ask you a little bit about your tour. Okay, so you're on tour right now. You're going to go find Oprah next week, which I guarantee this will happen, because that's how you do it. You put things out in public, and you make the statements, and you say, hey, this is what's going to happen. And I'll tell you something real quick. I've got a cool story for you if you've got a second. 2 years ago, when I started this podcast, I said that the guy Lee Haight, who has the Sky Diamonds, that I went to work with over in Florida for his conference, was going to be a sponsor on my podcast. And as you can see here, I did make that dream a reality, right? So he had a conference that we did this past weekend. It was Labor Day weekend, and I've been in Naples, Florida for the last 97 days. I just got home day before yesterday, and we were working on that, trying to promote, sell tickets, get everything ready. I got to watch how this huge event kind of developed and what all goes into it, which is amazing, quite frankly. And in the time that I was there, I remembered that last year I went to this very event, and I said to my friends who I went with, next year I'm going to be on stage at that conference, while we were at that conference. And I actually got to do some pretty cool stuff this year. I got to introduce several people into the conference. I got to introduce a UFC Hall of Famer named Forrest Griffin, which was pretty cool. So speaking it into existence, I can see you and Oprah. Go ahead. Do you need to take care of lunch?
No, I think he's going out for lunch. He just wondered what I was doing.
Oh yeah, we're just having fun. We're having a blast. So, but that's what I was saying. It's good to be able to speak it into existence, right? You've spoken everything into existence so far. I remember your story from our previous episode, and how everything just kind of happens for a reason. And you're one of the people that just kind of goes with the flow more than most. And I really appreciate that. So where are you going to be going after you meet Oprah and continue on with your book tour? What kind of events are you doing? What kind of publicity are you getting for it? I mean, what are you doing? You're out promoting your first book, and it's a bestseller. How's that? How does that look for somebody?
Yeah, look, it's been pretty amazing getting on TV and media, but I tend to, I find, talk too much and carry on too much. So
Me too.
really getting your messaging really clear and concise, because you have sometimes 2 minutes, sometimes 4 minutes. So it's been a challenge, because that is not my background. My background is in teaching yoga and fitness. And you said I'm a go with the flow person, but I haven't always been. I mean, I was someone that was things are black and white, things have to be done my way and they have to be done now. And I had to evolve and change a lot to heal myself from so many different things. So Buddhism taught me a lot. I studied Buddhism for 12 years, and that's really changed my perspective on the world. And I realize now that all of my experiences can make me bitter, or they can make me better. And a lot of that is in the book. So no, I wasn't always a go with the flow person. I was pretty hard line.
Well, hey, that's life, though. We learn from things that happen to us or happen for us in certain cases, and we change and become who we're supposed to be, right? So I definitely think that's amazing, and I think your whole journey and your story is great. I'm not going to lie to you. I buy every single book that I have guests on my podcast that have written. I have not bought your book yet, because I was not in town when it was released, and I wanted to make sure I didn't get it stolen by my neighbors or something like that. So I will actually be ordering a copy.
All those
this
book
afternoon.
thieves.
Oh yeah, trust me. I don't know what they do
cope?
with them, but people steal anything nowadays. They'll steal your stuff just to throw it in the trash, and that's not cool. So I'm going to get my copy today. If anybody watching or watches this later on would like to learn a little bit more about you and your story, how to handle disasters with grace, and how to be a master of them, what's the best way for them to get a copy of your book? Do you guys have an audio copy of it?
Well, actually, I've got the first 3 chapters on YouTube for free. So anyone
Nice.
can head to my website, catfinnerty.com, and you can get a link to the YouTube channel. So even if you go to YouTube, Cat Finnerty, and you'll see the link. So that's free. So you can have a listen and see if it's something that you'd like. And then if you want to grab it, head on to Amazon, or you're in America, so it's on Barnes and Noble as well.
Nice. I
And what
love
have you
that.
been doing,
So,
Chuck? Like you said, you've been disappeared for like 99 days?
yeah, it's been kind of a different kind of a summer for me, honestly. I went and I back in March, the roofing company just kind of we had to stop it for a little while, which there's going to be more to that later on down the road. I can't wait, but right now it's kind of just inactive. So I was kind of bored. I didn't have anything really going on. I was helping a couple of friends with their roofing stuff here and some people that I'm friends with in the industry. And I got a call from this guy, Lee Haight. He has the Sky Diamonds University, and he also has a very large roofing company. And I've known him for several years. Good guy. He called me up and just asked what I was doing and invited me to come down there to Naples, Florida. So I jumped on
So
a plane the next day.
Is Sky Diamonds like the idea that roofing is like so much money that it's worth diamonds? The company,
It's
like type of
hail.
work?
Hailstones are also known as sky diamonds.
I was gonna say, you said you get lots of hail where you live. I'm like, isn't that like a good thing for a roofer? It's
It is. I mean, it's someone's got to help, and as long as nobody gets hurt and just things like that, there's got to be some kind of a solution to it. And Sky Diamonds is kind of, that's the definition. So Lee, he was
I
known for,
never knew that.
yeah, it's a roofing thing. But he was a guy who's very well known in the industry. He's got a large company, been around for years. He's got this training platform and does a conference called the Blue Collar American Dream Conference. So
And is it
my
all
goal.
roofers that go, or like
No. This event was
builders?
like it was crazy. Okay, Kat, I'm going to give you a recap on this. I'm going to do an episode later on down the road that really explains this whole thing for me from day one all the way to the end. But this conference, okay, Lee, he's a guy that is very personal development driven. That's like his number one core value for his business, for himself. He does a lot of things, hires a lot of coaches, does things to continue to evolve. Even though he's very well known, he's got a lot of success, done quite well. He's always looking to be better, right? Always surrounding himself with people that are higher ranking, if you would, in life, or, people that can help elevate to another level. And that's always kind of been my thing too. So we've always kind of, seen eye to eye and been friends. Never worked directly with each other until just recently, but he called me up. I got to go down there and we were looking at it, and the conference was more of a personal development conference. We never spoke about, how to install roofing or, whatever it was. And it was mostly blue collar trades, people that were looking to invest in real estate, people that were looking for unique ways to generate capital, people that were looking to network and partner with folks in their business and help everybody just kind of elevate to the next level. But it was a family related event as well. There are a lot of clients there who have smaller roofing businesses, maybe a couple $1 million companies, which is great. But a lot of people want to get to the next level, and the program helps those people get there. And they were being recognized. They got championship belts and got to get up on stage with their family, with the kids and everything. And you see my buddy goes up there. He's got his 2 boys with him wearing suits, and they're all, super proud of their family business. So it was a really cool thing. A lot of awesome speakers that we got to see and meet. And I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was a lot of fun, something I never thought I'd be able to do, but I got to get up on stage several times. I got to,
Did
get
you
out
make
there
people
and get part of
dance?
it.
Were you the guy up there going, "Come on, everyone, get up and dance. Let's get some energy going for the crowd. Come
Okay, so
on."
yes, I
Was that
did.
you?
So twice, 2 things. Here's what I did. The first time I got up there, right, and the guys that were doing the event, Lee and this dude John, who is the MC of the event, super high energy people, right? My whole mission for this entire thing was to keep the crowd energized, to bring energy just wherever I was at, have my energy. And I'm like, damn, I got to step it up because these guys are pretty high energy. So I walked out on the stage, and the first thing I said was, man, I've got a hard job here. My goal is to keep the energy up, and I've got to be the hype man for the 2 most energetic people that I've ever seen. And I asked the crowd, give me a round of applause for me. Come on. And the crowd cheered for me. So that was kind of a cool moment where I realized you can
People
get
will clap for
an
anything.
entire room to cheer for you if you just ask, right? The answer is always no unless you ask. So that was pretty good. And then when Forrest Griffin, the UFC guy, was coming out, I got kind of fired up for that one. And, I had the crowd stand up and I said, raise the roof, UFC legend, and I had the whole crazy Chuck thing going on. I had about 4 Celsius.
I think it's the American thing, to be honest. I'm Canadian living in Australia half the time, and we look at Americans usually slightly different.
Yeah, we're nuts. I'll be the first to admit that.
Come on, get up, dance, scream, yell.
It's
what
can you do? If you don't love what you're doing, you shouldn't be doing it, I think. And that's me, right? Like, I'm authentic to who I am. I'll chug a bunch of energy drinks and then get up on stage and make the crowd do jumping jacks, That's what I'm good at.
There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it for sure. That you sort of do get that energy, you get that vibe, and there is something that you get inoculated with, and I think it's good on you, because so many times we're all afraid to really show how we really feel, right? Like, we want to, we're a little bit more reserved. We're like, rather not, let's live life. Let's live fearlessly. Don't stay safe, live fearlessly.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. And that's been me. My whole life, I was hesitant to do everything, and there's a lot of regrets from my younger days where I probably could have done a lot of really cool things if I just would have not been, so reserved or so self-conscious. And as you start to get older, I guess you do realize, screw it, this is just who I am. People are going to say, dude, that guy's been exactly the same for the last 25 years. I've known him. And, aside from the fact that I move around a little bit, I try to be the same, try to stay humble and just remember, you only get today one time, tomorrow's gone. Or yesterday's gone. We're never going to get it back. So let's just have fun. I put a Facebook post out saying, does anybody want to do a random live Facebook Live? And here you are, Kat. And to me, that's cool. You were one of 3 people that responded in 10 minutes. And
did the other 2 say yes too? We should have
absolutely. But the reality is, the majority of people will never do it because they're afraid, or they feel self-confident or self-conscious, or are lacking in self-confidence. And whatever, I've done some stupid things on camera.
I think just do it now. I always say, do it now. Everyone says, I'll do it tomorrow. Do it now, and then it's done. Because we don't have tomorrow. We only have this moment. To say what we need.
Exactly. I could walk outside, heaven forbid, slip down the stairs, and that could be the end of me right now, 10 minutes down the road. But at least I could say, hey, man, I did a 30-minute thing with Kat. We had a fun time today on a Friday afternoon. This was an experience that neither one of us were even anticipating an hour ago. So
many times we live for, I've got to save money for tomorrow, and I'll save, a special outfit, or I'll just wait, I'll have a good time on the weekend. It's like, you can have a good time right now. It doesn't matter what job you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're just driving in the car. You can just look at the person next to you and smile. Like, you can have a good time doing absolutely the most mundane, boring thing. Absolutely. And I just love to bring fun to every moment, and never think, oh, I'll do it later, or I'll think about it later. I'm like, no, I'm going to do it now. I'm going to have fun right now.
Yeah, why not, right? And the truth is, this is kind of cool too. I was in Florida for the 97 days, right? And everywhere I go, I set up these strategic relationships, right? And it's things that are very beneficial to me. Like, I have a lot of friends at gas stations all over town, right? I can get deals. I can get good things at Chipotle. Like, you have to just know how to be friends with the right people, right?
Well, you get an extra piece of chicken or something.
Oh, I get extra scoops of chicken. No charge, Chuck. We love you, dude. You're awesome. But it's because you tell the people they're doing a great job every time you come through, and you tell them you're having a great day. You're doing amazing. You're awesome. But the reality is, if you are having fun, I've always been that guy. It was never about money, which my bank account would certainly illustrate that it's never been about money like it should be. But it's always been about having fun and having the experiences. So I went to Florida. I lived in a house that was an Airbnb or a rental for 97 days. there were a couple different people throughout the course of that 97 that came and went throughout the course of the house. And, you know, it was a fun experience. It was something that nobody else probably would even have done. And I just thought, why not? I'll leave on a
But why should it
Thursday.
be about the money? Like, what does having lots of money in your bank account equate to happiness? You know,
No,
there's
I
rich
mean, I'm
people
sure
that
it
are
could be
unhappy.
helpful to a certain degree, but you know, again, that's all in due time. I've just been kind of having fun with life and enjoying it, and it's been a great adventure. I look back at my entire career, and it's like, wow, I started, you know, on my connecting flight, I landed in Charlotte, and it was like, wow, I lived here one time for 3 years.
Mm.
And that was so random too, because I just got a random offer one day that I wasn't expecting and I took it. So, you know, that's the way we live our lives. And when it's all said and done, at least I'm gonna say, hey, I might not have struck it rich. I might not have done whatever the huge thing was that I set out for, although I probably will accomplish that.
As long as you enjoy the journey, and that's all it's about, right?
It's
It's not
fun.
the
I mean, that's it.
destination. Yeah.
Yeah, it's taken me a long time to get to that point and have that kind of
Mm.
peace, but I do, and I appreciate that because you know it's a lot
I
nicer
teach
this
that a lot
way.
about traveling. You were saying that you're in the airport for a day or 2 days. And I always say, because I teach a lot about how to travel and not wanting to kill yourself or somebody with you. And when you travel, it's like, you know, usually people are like, I'm busy, I have to go to work, and they're doing things they don't want to do. It's like when you travel, you're at the airport, you can sit and read, you can watch some movies. There's so many things you can do, like all those things you don't have to do. I'm like, enjoy it. It's part of the journey. Talk to people you'd never speak to. I love traveling.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And in my airport adventure this time, I think I logged a little bit over 3 miles in steps, you know, so it was good.
Yeah.
I got the benefit of that. I got to talk to some cool people, and you know, it's another experience in life that I can talk about. The time that I just randomly went to Florida and ended up on stage at a major convention and got to meet famous people and really just had a good time with it. So I'm thankful for that opportunity, and I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of great things coming in the future. I'm working on something right now that's going to, you know, hopefully be one of those things in life that I look back and say, I'm glad I did that one again. But I've got a meeting on Monday that I'm going to try to do something with something that has previously maybe not ended the way that I'd like. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I'm sure whatever is meant to be will absolutely be, and it always works out. In the end, it always works out.
It does. And you know what? I want to thank you, Kat, because you're so cool. You're my favorite person. I remember before you came on my podcast, I was like on this Facebook thing, just looking for random guests because that's just me. I'm like you. I like talking to people. And you were one of the random people. And I thought, huh, I've never even heard of this place where she's at. This is going to be kind of cool. And I followed you ever since then. And it's awesome. I see the stuff that you're doing, I see the cool journey that you're on, the people that you're helping, and all the stuff you're doing in life. And it's very inspiring. So thank you for
Good,
that.
come
Thank you
visit
for letting me
me.
be a part of that.
Anyone's here, come on over, come to Vanuatu. I do a chicken project to help feed people some protein. So you can come hatch some eggs with me or hatch some chickens with me. And always, anyone's always welcome.
Well, I'm going to take you up on that one of these days. I know I said
Absolutely.
that last time and it's not quite happened yet,
It's
but
okay.
Vanuatu is on my list. I'll just make sure that you're not in Toronto when I show up in Vanuatu, and everything will work out just perfect. So, um,
Lovely to chat. Thank you, Chuck, for so
it's
much for
always
having
my
me on
pleasure.
again.
Thank you, Kat. I appreciate you taking the time to do this, keeping it randomly Rio live. Who knows? Maybe I'll start doing this on a regular basis, but this is the first one of one. And I got the most unique two guests, the two people that I know, you and me. And I appreciate that very much. So, anybody that's watched, I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your Friday. Thank you, Kat. We will talk to you all later.